Hey there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to have you here today. I'm down in Florida, and I'm enjoying a beautiful afternoon. It's been a little chilly down here. I know you guys up north have been really struggling with the cold, but down here, these people are like, wow, it's way too cold for Florida. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. 45 or 50 is cold for them. But anyway, it's been a little chilly. So, but I caught a beautiful day today. It's about 70, maybe 1 or 72. And I wanted to chat a little bit about, I was just flipping through some devotions and I found this devotion on, it reminded me actually of a song that I learned last year. So last year at this time, first of all, come on. This is amazing. But last year at this time, I remember I was in Syracuse, New York. I had a show on a Saturday and a Sunday, and it was cold. It was snowing. It was probably in that, 15, 20 degree range. It was snowing both days that I was there, Saturday and Sunday. But we had a great, actually very beautiful weekend of worship in Syracuse. And on the Sunday morning, the pastor there, he said, hey, do you know this song, Firm Foundation? And I said, maybe, I think so. I might know it. And he said, okay, can you learn it for tomorrow morning? And I said, yeah, let me just find it and I'll learn it. So I learned it overnight, and I had heard it once or twice before, and I remember it being a great song. So that was when I started playing Firm Foundation at my live shows too, was starting last January. And I loved the lyric. I loved the idea of the song, and I loved what it stood for. And it reminded me of a passage from Ephesians, and I was tripping over that passage today while I was looking through a couple of devotions on what did I want to talk about today on this devotion. And so it pulled up my devotions from our membership area in the Daily Dose of Worship. It pulled up a passage from Ephesians. Now, I can't remember if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So we'll have to go back and look. But it's one of my favorite verses. I'm pretty sure it's Ephesians 6. And it says, put on the breastplate of righteousness and the armor of truth and all of these amazing things. And it says, stand firm in your faith. And the devotion went on to talk about standing firm in our faith and how do we get there? What does it look like? And sometimes standing firm in our faith isn't something that we can just do overnight, right? It's something that takes a while to get to. Sometimes we have to climb this mountain. I guess that's the right way to put it. Climb this mountain to get to a higher place in our faith. And faith, as we've talked about before, faith doesn't just happen, right? Faith comes from hearing. It's a direct quote from the Bible, and then seeing it in action and moving it and just kind of letting God speak to us more and more. It comes by developing a relationship with Him. But we can turn it a little bit into a human kind of relationship here. Like, we don't have faith in our friends until we know them better, until we see them in action, until we see them actually being a true friend, right? Really being a friend. And then our faith level increases in them because we're like, oh, we can actually trust them more. We can actually know them better, and we can actually have them more in our life because we've seen them. We've seen what they're going to do for us. We've seen that they have our back. We've seen that we can trust them, and we have faith that they're going to be there when we call, and we have faith that they're going to be around when we need them. So, and that, again, as you know, in your friendships and in your relationships, that doesn't happen overnight. So we see that start to happen the more and more that we experience relationships and experience people in our lives. And it's the same thing with God. when we see God showing up more and more in our life, and when we see him moving and working in and around the prayers that we have, in the relationships that we have, in our trust in him, in our faith in him, our faith becomes stronger when we start to put more faith in him, and we see his goodness, we see his mercy, we see his grace, we see his kindness, we see the hope that he brings to our lives. All of this stuff is part of the relationship, and it's part of who he is as we build a relationship with him, as our faith gets stronger, and as our relationship with him grows. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. And all I can do is talk about my own relationship with God and my walk with him, and see and watch how my faith has grown in him because of, it just makes me smile a little bit, but just see how my faith has grown because I've seen him move and work. And each of you, it's the beauty of our Father, each of us have our own walk with him. We each have our own relationship with him, and we each have a different kind of friendship with him, right? So it's this beautiful, beautiful back and forth with who Jesus is in our lives and the faith that we have in him. So to come back to the topic, a firm foundation. So I haven't recorded the song yet. Hopefully I will soon. Get into that eventually. But Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand. Now, again, the lyrics are very biblical. I love them. And this firm foundation, this faith that we have in the Father. I think today all I wanted to talk about was how that faith, because I know some of you are struggling with your faith. And I know some of you are like, what is going on? Why is this happening? Like, where is God in the midst of all of this? And that's a topic that we come across all the time. It's a topic that we talk about a lot. It's a topic that I sing about a lot. And it all comes down to faith in the Father, and growing our relationship with him, and realizing that in the midst of our struggle, in the midst of our hurt, in the midst of our pain, Jesus brings hope. And our faith has to be strengthened by all of it. Okay, does that make sense? I know it's hard sometimes to hear this. And I know that a number of you in our community right now are struggling. My prayers are with you. The community has been praying for some of you. And it's been amazing to watch and hear how you all are interacting with each other and building each other's faith up, right? I love that. So, okay. I just wanted to ramble for a minute about faith. Is that okay? And also show you this incredible view. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about faith and how Christ is our firm foundation, the rock on which we stand. When everything around us is shaking, I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus. So today, be thankful for your faith in Jesus. Yeah, this world is tough. Yeah, it just keeps punching and punching and punching. But God is walking with us. And let your faith be bolstered, and let your faith grow through your relationship with him. Just keep digging into the word, digging into prayer, digging into who he is and how he works. And he is going to show up. I guarantee it. And I just speak from experience, and from the experiences that I've seen in the midst of doing this ministry for all these years. Okay. Faith today. Amen. Amen, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you're not a member and you want to become a member, head over to joindaysband.com and join us so that we can get our folks praying for you today. And then you can also download the app. The app is finally released, so you can head over to downloadworship.com and download the app and get all 20 albums and podcasts and a bunch of other stuff in the app as well. So that's a great it's a great starter course on what we do and how we do it, okay? So joindaysband.com or downloadworship.com. That's a great way to get involved in all that we're doing together. And we'll see you guys out on the road. Shows are coming up. We're starting to book 2025. If you want to book me at your church or in your backyard or the park in the center of town, let's talk about it, okay? Just go to weworshiptogether.com and you can we can start the conversation about booking a show by you. Alrighty. Man, just, it's amazing sometimes to just kind of stop and think about faith. I think about what God and I have been through over the years, especially these last 5 years. And it just drops you down into this position of gratitude and thankfulness in it all. Okay, we'll see you guys on the next one. Prayers up for you this week. We'll see you soon. Take care.